Okay, y'all, I am so excited. This is our Legacy Spotlight, and every week we've been featuring people that are in our business that have been in the business for a little while, who have had some success, and letting them share their story because you know what? We don't get to hear all the stories very often. And Rusty and I thought it was just really important that we do that, that we have a resource. And I'm so excited tonight. We've got Susan Wade on with us. She is an ambassador in our organization. And she's been with the company now, what, 7 years, 8 years?
Years in November.
How many?
8.
8 years, I know. Oh my gosh. And you know, we have watched this gal just grow and become one of the most awesome leaders and very well loved leaders in our company. And she's a wealth of knowledge. She was a former nurse. And so I'm excited for you tonight, Susan, to be able to share your story with us. And, you know, we're just going to give you the floor. And we just want you to share where you know, who you are, where you came from, some of the struggles, some of the rewards, and, you know, just speak whatever's on your heart. If you guys could please make sure that you have muted yourself. I see a lot of people unmuted. Please mute yourself right now. There we go. All right. So without further ado, here you go. It's Susan Wade. Woo!
I was going to say, I hope my kids are still awake. So it's no telling what's going to happen behind this door. I'm like hiding in their playroom right now because that's the only place that I could get a little bit of quiet. But
in their playroom.
Like she said, yeah.
He's good friends with Amy Prophet. I didn't know that.
Please mute.
Sorry. So like she said, I've been in almost 8 years now. I started this business as a registered nurse who did not want to work. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I was one of those women that being with my kids was my number one goal. And after I got married, I worked a little bit and then ended up deciding, okay, this is not, like, I'm ready to come home. But my husband was like, okay, well, we don't have the money for you to come home. Like, we have to both work. So we held off on trying for kids until he got promised this really big promotion at work. He said my dreams were coming true and I'd be able to quit my job. So I did. We ended up getting pregnant, and then his promotion didn't happen. And so I had already walked away from my nursing job. I'd been at home with my daughter for like 3 months. So I was not really on maternity leave because like I'd already quit. So I wouldn't have been able to go back. I would have had to like reapply for a job. So I was stuck. I was looking at other nursing jobs. I really didn't know what the heck I was going to do, but we needed the income. And I'll never forget my upline, Brooke. She was talking about, the wrap, the body applicator, and I just had a baby. So even though I probably shouldn't have spent $25 to wrap myself, I did anyway. And she came over to my house. You guys, just to give you some perspective, because how many of you talk to people that tell you no, like all day long? I know I do. Okay. How many people do you tell the loyal customer program to and they're like, peace out, like not happening? Okay. That was me. She was in my home putting the wrap on me. And I remember her explaining the auto ship. And I laugh all the time because the way she explained it, like she said something about the product remaining in your cart on month 2 and 3. And I was like, oh no, nope, that's not me. I'm not going to be a loyal customer. Like, I don't want my card charged. And this is as she's putting the wrap on. So you guys, I was not even to the point of being comfortable signing up as a loyal customer. Okay. And here I am, an ambassador diamond with the company. So I'm telling you this because that's where I was. But what changed was 3 days later, I got these incredible results. And, I was laying in bed at night going, what am I doing? Like, how much longer can I stay home with Vivian? And it's like a light bulb moment. And it was God, like, telling me, just give it a shot to see how much cash you can make to tide us over until I could find something. And so I jumped at this opportunity, kind of not seeing this big 10,000, plus a month. Like, I didn't see that. I just wanted to make a couple $100s, 800 I think was like my minimum that I could make to stay at home. So anyway, that long story short, I got in, everything just like I didn't know what I was doing. Okay. I did not know what I was doing. I probably said too much to people because I'm a nurse. I thought I had to know everything. So it held me back a little bit. But then it was ignorance on fire where I just got really excited and people started coming to me and they were like, well, what are you doing? Where's this cash coming from? You're wrapping people in your closet? Because we couldn't afford like our home. I didn't have closet space. So where I was wrapping people was my closet. That's where I came from. And so y'all, it just happened. Everything. That's why I love this business, is because you can start so small with the goal of Ruby. And our entire company is based off of building Rubies. So after I went Ruby, I was like, oh, let me just teach these people to go Ruby. And I was going to go Diamond on my it was my 4th month. I was going to go Diamond. Melody McFarland calls me up and she's like, hey, so I hear you're going Diamond. And I said, yes, I'm going Diamond. She said, no, you're going to go double. And I was like, no, I'm not. And she's like, yes, you are. And I think that was the pivotal moment of like my upline just saying, I know you can do this. You've got what it takes. And I ended up so I literally went from Ruby to double Diamond over the course of 1 month. And after that, you guys, that's when everything changed. I mean, I'm trying not to talk too much, but once I saw that double Diamond check, it's like something came over me. I was like, whoa, this money's real. And how do I get more of this? And for how long? How much longer can I, prolong this? And so I just kept working and I kept teaching more people to go Ruby. Within 2.5 years, I went ambassador, which like is not the fastest, time, but that was also the time that I made my first million in the business. And we have an amazing IDS statement, by the way, that you can look up because we're not supposed to talk about money, but without showing that. And so anyway, after about 2.5 years, I went ambassador. I ended up taking my 2.0 account, which is our second account, which is what I'm working under now. I took that to presidential. And I mean, the rest is history. We paid off. We had a lot of student loans, a lot of credit card debt. My husband ended up coming home and now he's able to do what he wants to do with the income that we've made. We made this really scary decision last year to pick up and move to Florida. So Melody knows me in person because I used to live in Tennessee and I didn't want to be in Florida, but everything just lined up. My husband wanted to be there and I took the chance. And so now we're here and I absolutely love it. Yeah, I have 4 girls now. So if you're a mom on this Zoom, I don't just have 1, I have 4 and they're all girls and they're literally like every 2 years we've had a baby. Okay. So I've got a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, and an 8-year-old. And this business changes all the time and I just figure out what's working for people and I adjust what I do and it's still working for me to this day. So that's kind of my story.
I'm glad you mentioned the girls because, some people think, well, I've just got a house full of kids and, I'm just so totally worn out. I just can't put all my focus where I need to. I'm so scattered. I'm so stressed out and tired and everything. So, there's no excuse when you're going after something. And I know in the beginning, you worked so hard. I mean, so hard. And if I'm being honest, you weren't very happy because you were working all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I was happy about certain aspects of my life. And then there were moments where I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm having to put my business first. And I didn't like that. And my husband didn't like that either. So I've gone through a lot of transition. And I've actually I think I'm working smarter now and not like I'm still working hard, but I'm working smarter and I'm able to work in like a shorter amount of time. than when before I felt like I had to be on my phone all day long. And I really feel like doing host to post and doing like what Amber Parker does, the KPIs, like doing things in these like timed increments is so rewarding because you're getting so much done in a short amount of time or in a chunk of your day. And then you get to be with your family the rest of the day. And so I've noticed that I keep my phone charging and I keep it plugged up. And so when I'm having these moments where I'm like, okay, I'm going hardcore, I'm going to go get my 10 hosted posts up, I'll lock my door and spend an hour getting my hosted posts up. Or I'll do it with my kids, you know, when they're not paying attention to me, like they're playing a video game or they're like, Mom, I don't, whatever. And then there's moments like today where my daughter's like, no, I want you to paint my nails. Like there's no way I can work my business and paint my 4-year-old's nails. So those are the moments that I feel like I can put my phone down, when years ago I probably would have just told her no. I mean, if I'm being honest, I would have been like, no, Mommy's working today. This is a work day for Mommy. And so I think I've prioritized and I've seen what works for myself and for my team. And I realized I can get a lot done in about an hour or so. And I don't know who told me this or gave me this tip, but someone once said, like, if you give your business, you know, 20% here and 20% there and 20% here, like you're literally giving like little bits, like where you're not giving your best to your business, but you're doing it throughout the day. So you feel like you're working, you feel like you're being productive, and you're on your phone 24/7, right? And then what are you doing with your family? You're giving your family a little bit and a little bit, and you're not taking a date night, and you're not hanging out with your husband, you're not riding a bike. Like we ride bikes a lot around the neighborhood. Like I would do like little things, and I would have my phone on me. And so then I realized that if you can give 100% of your business for about an hour or two a day, and then give your family 100%, that focus 100%, everything will change for you, because you'll realize that you're giving your full self. And this business is you can be so much more successful when you're able to give your full self. And so I think, Melody, that's what you mean. Like I'm so much more happier because I feel like I can work smarter.
Exactly.
And the business has changed a lot. Yeah, the business has changed a lot. Back when I first got in, we did parties, and I was one of the first people to like post on social media. And now like 99% of what we do, especially in this season of, you know, with COVID and everything going on in our world, I mean, we're really on social media all the time. And so, you know, as a leader, you have to adjust, and you have to know, okay, maybe what's working for me isn't going to work for every single person. So you have to learn all the different ways. So yeah, I've definitely like had a interesting 8-year journey, but you know, what's great is even through the challenges and like the ups and the downs and like trying to figure out where I fit in terms of my day and like how I'm going to work this business, I've yet to lose my ambassador rank. I've always been able to maintain it. But it hasn't been perfect. Like my team, you know, I've lost leaders here and there, and, you know, I've had struggles along the way. Back in 2016, you know, you mentioned, you know, tell them about some of the struggles. Like, you know, I lost Michael's dad, passed away in December of 2015. I was 37 weeks pregnant. We had to plan a funeral. And then 5 months later, my dad unexpectedly passed away. And I was dealing with postpartum depression. And so like, if you ask me about 2016, that was probably one of the worst years ever. And yet a residual income was coming in, and we were still able to make it. And it's because of this business. And I was able to work. Like, I can't even imagine having to work a normal job back when my dad was in the ICU. Like, I was able to be there every single day with him, work my business. And it kind of gave me something to do, if I'm honest with you, to kind of get my mind off the fact that all these bad things were going on around me. It Works has been like this positive constant in my life.
Yeah, I love that, because, you know, life does happen to all of us. You're not going to get through life without something, you know, coming into your life that can either take you out of the game entirely or at least distract you for a time. But when you have a business like this with residual income, that's the key, you guys. This is one of the reasons why you would build a business like this, because this will weather you through the storm if you have built a solid business, which Susan has, you know, where she was able to not be 100% focused and focused where she needed to be, but yet she still maintained and continued to get a really nice income from the work she'd already put in. That's what residual income is all about. It's you work hard and you create an income that's going to continue to pay you month after month after month after month. And that allows you to have some freedom and all. So I know, Susan, that you have consistently been in the top 15 of our company, consistently. And, you know, can you say something to them with where we've come from as a company, and, you know, where you see us going? Do you have, you have not, what am I trying to say here? I think, do you see what I'm saying? You know, you are one of the top leaders, and you're in the know, and you're in Florida. You're right there with corporate and all. Yeah. And you see all of it. You see what's going on and all. And I just know that you can give them an encouraging word of where we're headed as a company. And yeah.
Pam wasn't there last night, but we've been having a mastermind meeting with Pam Souter every single month. We all come together, and just, it's mostly the top leaders. We met in Costa Rica, and so we kind of put together this group. So it has been really, really great to be around that. And just like seeing, you know, our CNO, you know, have so much vision. And we don't get a lot of time with Mark, but like she's telling us everything that, you know, oh, Mark said this. Just last month, she was like, I was kind of hinting to her about like what's to come. And she was like, oh, you just wait till September. And she'll like wink at you. And I'm just like, okay, give her like a glass of wine or something. Cause I need her to like open up. I need her to tell me more. But it's just, we get to feel that excitement, you know, living here. But I would just say, like, how blessed are we in this season? Because I mean, I'm hearing of companies like closing down.
Yes. And
like knowing that through this, that our company is still here, it's still thriving. Numbers are good. And, you know, the fact that we're still debt free, like that's huge. And a lot of you, if you're brand new, you're kind of like, well, I don't get why that's such a big deal. It is a big deal. I know when they sent out like the loan for businesses to get them through this season, like Mark said, hey, we don't need the loan, like give it to somebody else. And that just shows you like, we're doing okay. And so I just feel like when I open up my paycheck now, I'm just like, Michael and I look at each other. We're just so blessed that we're still here. And then we have a CEO that is still like looking towards the future and wanting us to have another run, you know, like he could just be sitting back and being complacent and being, you know, like, oh, things are great. Like, why do we need any new products? You know, why do we need to reformulate? But he does. We talked about that last night a little bit of how far we've come in some of the ingredients in our products and how they're constantly, you know, trying to make things better. And I just think that's so great. And if you've been in as long as we have, the fact that they've done a complete like 180 in the look and the way this company is seen, they completely reinvented themselves. And that's really hard to do. And I think Mark sees that and acknowledges it. And that's just been, I don't know if you guys even understand how awesome it is that we have coffee now and that we're, you know, I have people write me all the time. They don't even think we sell wraps. And like, they literally are like, oh, like, do y'all even have those anymore? And I'm like, yes, let me tell you about it. Like a customer today bought Defining Gel, but it's just, we have a new look. And so those are the people back when you were posting, you know, 4 years ago, these are new people technically that you can go to and say, hey, like, have you seen our new coffee? Or anytime a new product comes out. And I think that's like such a blessing because I follow a lot of network marketing companies and a lot of women. And I noticed, and I've been following them for a long time, they do not do what It Works does, where they come out with something exciting. Like every 6 months or so, it's like we have a new hosted post that we can throw out or something brand new. And they're still talking about a product that they've had for like 4 or 5 years. So I feel like that is in itself a blessing. And I don't know if that's what you wanted me to talk about. Back in 2015, or it might have been 2014, I was pregnant with Whitley. It was 2014, and I was in Mark's office. We were doing like a tour with some other top leaders. And he said, I have plans not only for your children, but for your grandchildren. Like, we want you to have a legacy here where what you're doing here is going to benefit your grandchildren. And I remember him saying that, going, okay, so I know his age. I know how old Mark is. So he obviously is thinking ahead. He has a plan. And that just means a whole lot, because if you're going to put if you're going to go all in with It Works, like, wouldn't you want to do it with a company that you know is going to last and isn't going to sell themselves out or sell to the highest bidder? Like, he's got his actual family in. Pam has her own family in. Their families rely on this income. So you should really hold on to that and go, okay, like, if I give this my all, like, it's going to last. It's very, very important. Sorry, I hear like little ones behind the door. But yeah, I feel like that's what really keeps me going, even when I feel discouraged, or like may read something on social media that isn't truth. Like, I come back to what I know to be true in the people that I know and their hearts. And it's an amazing company. And I'm so glad that it's crazy because I've never been in anything else. And Melody, I think back, like, if someone else would have, like, because network marketing, no one talked about it on Facebook back then. No one sold things on Facebook. You didn't even have like the nails or makeup. Like, people just didn't talk about it. If someone else would have gotten in my face and said, hey, I really think that you could do this with this company, they probably would have snatched me up. And who knows, like, it's just crazy that It Works was the one that I was able to come across at the right time. And it's just been such a blessing.
Well, I for one am very blessed that you chose this, or it chose you. I'm a firm believer, I always have been, that the people that God has for this business are going to come into this business, and they're going to come in with you. If they're destined to come in with you, they're going to come in with you. The thing that you have to do is to be putting it out there and believing and knowing that God has your team already picked out. Mm-hmm. And, and with Susan, what a team. I mean, she has got ambassadors under her. She's got, ton of presidentials, and, she has built a solid foundation. And that's exactly what you have to do in order to be successful, not only in this business, but in any kind of a network marketing business, especially because you have to have a solid foundation. And what Susan was saying was that Mark has laid out the groundwork. He's done the solid foundation. He has invested his all into our company so that we have something that we can take to the bank, that we can.
He does not like to lose.
Right. No, he does not like to lose.
He is like the most competitive person ever. You should have seen him in Costa Rica. Like, we did a game show, and he was like, I've never seen him like that before. And I was like, okay, this is our CEO. Like, if someone's coming at him from another company, like competing, like, he is going to win. Like, he doesn't like people to fail. So just keep that in mind, that like, if you feel like your paycheck's going down or those around you, like, he's going to do whatever like all of us, he's going to be like, nope, I don't lose. Like, let me give him something else. And that's why he's constantly coming out with new stuff, including this amazing Ruby bonus. So if you've got new people in August, that's an incredible bonus to go after, and it's doable.
Yes, absolutely. Rusty, have you got anything that you want to say really quick?
Yeah, I'm so proud of Susan. I remember the first time I met her in Tennessee, we was at some little steakhouse, and she said, I don't know if I can do it. And all of a sudden she just went out and blew up. And all the struggle, she and I lost our fathers in particularly the same manner, but if it had not been for It Works, we'd have had to went back to work. It allowed us the the fortitude to stay there and be a family because of it works. And speaking with Mark, I start 19 years next week with Mr. Pentecost full time, and I have yet to miss a check in all those particular years, and in this unparalleled lifestyle that we've gotten to live for the freedom. But to speak about Mark's competitiveness, he's forever working to better the brand. And when he betters the brand, he betters it through you. And every one of you have the same chance as Susan Wade and Michael Wade, which is some of the best people in the world with 4 children. So the one thing I've seen is Susan and Michael is they believe they deserve it, but they believe they're worth it. But more than that, Susan, do you still have my house that's beside you that you talked to Rob and I about to move to Florida?
I mean, we still got lots available.
Yeah. She believes her children are worth having a full-time mother and a full-time father. And she has the multi-million-dollar family, but she went out and done the things today that other people wouldn't do. Now she gets to live like other people wish they could. You have to believe you're worth it. We are with the right company. There's too many tenure people here, not tenure, but people's been here a long time, staking our way of life and the future of what she just said, not only your grandchildren, but your great-grandchildren. And we all know that to be true. So I want to ask you, based off of her story, what's holding you back? What's holding you back? All she told you, she went out and went to work, and she's forever willing to change. When things change, you have to be willing to adapt and change. And Melody and I, we're going through adapting and changing now as older guys in the deal, as far as learning social media. But the one thing it never changes, every day you get up and you add to your story. You have to be willing to share your story on a consistent basis based off of what the product's done for you, but based off of your lifestyle. And if you looked at Susan, every octave she spoke, it spoke of sheer excitement about where she's at, but the hard work she's put in. The sense of accomplishment makes me extremely proud, and I, as well as Mel, am very blessed. But this is what I believe. When I decided to leave the bank all those years ago, God knew Susan Wade was coming into my life, and she knew Michael Wade was coming into my life. He knew this particular team was coming into my life. He knew Melody and Blair McFarland was coming. All I had to do is show up every day and be consistent, just like Susan said, and be willing to adapt to change and to go out and do whatever I can on a consistent basis to add to this brand. So Susan, I, for one, Robin, we love you guys to death. We're more than proud of you, beyond your wildest imagination. It's one attribute that stands out about Susan Wade to me. A couple of times she's called me with problems. It never failed. She had 3 solutions to go with. I'm thinking, wonder why she called me. She already had it figured out. That's the kind of person you want on your team. But more than that, that's the kind of person you want to model and mirror yourself after, is a Susan Wade.
Thank you. Boom. That was so sweet.
Boom. That was good.
Oh, you're going to make me cry.
Well, before we say goodnight to everybody, is there any final words that you'd like to say?
Goodness. I have some of my team on here that just popped on because I shared it in one of my chats. And I feel like I never want someone to hear 8 years and think, oh, that's why she is where she's at. Because you guys, I'm agreeing. I know our comp plan, and I know what you can do to get the income that I open up every month. And it does not take 8 years. You don't have to have gotten in 8 years ago. You don't have to have gotten in when Rusty Melody got in. You literally can make the decision today and say, okay, what did I say in the beginning of my story? I went Ruby, and then I told everybody else how to go Ruby. And that's it. That's it. And you have to have fun, and you got to be confident. And so take my story and be inspired, but also don't let it discourage you and go, I've missed the boat. I've missed out. Because you have not missed out. I'm waiting for my next person. Like, I've got a girl, Morgan Martin, on my team. She's probably going to be the first person that's going to pass me an income, and I cannot wait. Because I told Michael, I said, less of me on the stage, more of my team. Because the way our comp plan is built and the way our It Works is built is for you to be successful, your team needs to be on that stage. Your team needs to go VIP. And so we want you guys, we want you to be successful. Whether you've been a year, 3 years, or you just got started, you have every opportunity that I have and that all of us have. So you can do it. And I hope I spoke to someone tonight that just was feeling like you've missed the boat. You haven't. You can do this.
I love it. Susan, thank you so much for sharing with us. I'm so proud of you. I love you so much.
Love you too.
I'll see you soon.
Okay, yes, come visit anytime.
I know. Woo. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Right.